Dan,
Yes.
I get a sense that Wall Street has a different thought on this, and I think they've given up once they're concerned about deficits and debt, and now they just say party on, and they want the bigger the better. And I think what might have contributed to this rally, you guys are closer to it than I am, but what might have contributed is this notion that maybe this stimulus plan could be in peril if they start throwing lots of other stuff into it, like this hike in the minimum wage and some of these other things. What do you think?
Well, Wall Street certainly is enamored with stimulus, Neil. And, could it be in jeopardy? I don't think so. I don't know about what the size will ultimately be, but there is going to be some type of stimulus package. Now, let's also not forget, and to Liz's point about how much spending is going on here, they're spending at this point just to spend, to see how many different projects that can be pushed into this bill, and it all becomes Band-Aids. What really needs to happen, what true stimulus is, point number one, get the vaccines out, because the more people that are vaccinated and can get back to work, the better off we are with the economy. And then from there, Neil, we have to look at creating the jobs, and many jobs have disappeared. They're not coming back. Companies have gotten used to how to operate during a pandemic, whether it's remote working or using technology to replace people. So I'm not sure we're ever going back to where we were before.
Dan, are you worried about inflation? I know we're nowhere near the levels that we used to worry about, certainly when I was much younger, but it is percolating. What do you think?
It is a worry, Neil, and there's been a lot of discussion that inflation is going to be tied to this potential $15 an hour minimum wage. So the indicators are there that we could have an inflationary period. However, we have had things occurring in the economy, which in my mind should have triggered inflation already at this point. So I'm not exactly sure why we haven't been experiencing it to this point, but it is a concern. And of course, the reaction by the Fed to inflation is going to be increasing interest rates. Now, increasing the interest rates are absolutely going to have an impact on the market. So this is a very fine line that Jerome Powell has to walk as far as managing inflation with, tooling with the interest rates. And I said before, Neil, on your show, you and I talked about this more than a year ago when Donald Trump was putting pressure on Jerome Powell. He should not have lowered rates as far as he did. He created a bubble, and it didn't have to be there.
There are always going to be people, Dan, who will try to push down the price of a stock they feel is too pricey, and those who will counter them, who feel that those guys pounding are going too far. Do we need Washington to regulate that and police that? What is simply a buy and sell, order that just applies to basic trades? Or is this beyond that?
We don't need Washington to get involved with this, especially because the real danger, Neil, is that they are going to try to overcompensate for what happened. And now all of a sudden the pendulum swings all the way to the other side. What happened here got a lot of attention, and rightly so. It was something that was very unusual. And in this age of information where things are happening so fast, business at the speed of thought, you're going to have situations like this happen. Now, the question is, was anything done illegally? And as far as I've seen, I haven't seen anything illegal. So the government is going to step in. I don't think there's any doubt. And Charlie Gasparino was right in calling that this would happen. But I'm not so sure that they're really going to find anything. And the frustrating part, I guess, to the government is there's a lot of people out there complaining. But what's the solution, the practical solution? And I don't think that exists.